I got a coach for the first time, and he helped me get ready
Mm.
to race it in 2019. And man, that race, there are so many stories from that race because I went down there and it was on the Atlantic coast, and there was a bunch of like riots and blockades on the roads. There was something was going on it. I can't remember. It was like the truckers union and the teachers union all came together and they just shut down the country.
Wow.
And so to get to this race, I went the wrong way on all the like little side roads. I went like 20,000 zigzags to advance 1 kilometer.
Yeah.
Like we did all sorts of magic to get there, but we got there. Uh, they changed so that I got there on Saturday. The race was on Sunday, and it was supposed to be at 9 a.m. So at like 7, I'm eating breakfast and thinking I have plenty of time to get to the race. And I show up at the race at 7:51 a.m. and I see people lining up at the start line, and I'm just there picking up my number. And I go, "Is the race start at 9?" And they say, "No, it starts in 9 minutes." That's how I know it's 7:51 because they start.
Yeah.
That's what they said. It started 9 minutes. I'm like, wait, did they change the time? Yeah, didn't you get the message? We changed the time last night at like 11:30. We sent the message out
Oh
to
yeah.
everybody. And I'm like, no, I didn't get the message. I'm not even on your list. Um, so I had my best friend with me. He's one of the very few people. He's like a brother. He's one of the very few people that still uh, have a relationship with me
Mm.
after everything that I did. Like everyone pretty much, like even my own family, they didn't really want too much to do with me.
Mm.
This guy and his grandmother, who is actually like my grandmother, she did a lot to raise me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I was, the whole plan, the race plan for me was, hey man, I called him and I said, hey man, next weekend there's a race. I'm going to be down in Costa Rica. How about you get your family? I'll take my son. We'll go down to the beach. You drive the race day. You drive behind the race, and then when I drop out, you pick me up and we'll just go hang out at the beach and it'll be fun. That was the
Yeah.
race plan. And so I got this guy who's never driven, never done any kind of assistance in a race, never driven behind a race. He didn't know what I was doing, what he was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. Um, I got the numbers on; they were on all crooked because
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
uh, we had like 2 minutes, um, and we started. And the race was actually pretty exciting. The first hour was really fast. I knew that being by myself and against the big teams, my best chance was to try to isolate them and just create a break. So in that first hour, I just kept attacking, and then if anybody else attacked, went with them, and
Mm.
then told them I would work with them and things like that. And it took about an hour, and then we ended up with a break of about maybe 40. Like it split basically.
Yeah.
Uh, we got to this one hill. I started feeling that breakfast coming up because I just finished eating like half an hour before. Um, and yeah, we just kept getting smaller and smaller. And I was actually cramping from like at 30 kilometers to go. I was going to drop out. And I kept thinking, all right, 1 more kilometer, 1 more kilometer,
Yeah.
1 more kilometer. And
Wow.
then when I thought we were at 5K to go, looking at my bike computer, I'm like, I can't do this anymore, and I'm dead. Like I did what I could. I'm happy with my effort.
Mm.
And then I started dropping back to just kind of drop out, and then I just happened to look for up, and I don't know, maybe it was a long straight, and maybe about a kilometer, maybe 2 kilometers. I don't know, just about 2 kilometers ahead, I could see the finishing arch.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I was like, oh, hang on a second. This is the finish. And I said, I think I can make it. Um, but by this time, I put myself in terrible position. I
Mm.
was really at the back of this group of about 15. Um, but it was like, this was the most beautiful sprint I've ever done because it was, left to right wind. We were all on the right side. I was at the back, and somebody went with about 800 to go. And I was like, well, that's my wheel to move up. And
Yeah.
so I got on his wheel, and he went all the way to the left side of the road. So I got on his wheel, and I'm like, please make it to like 300. Please make it to 300. You can make it to 300. And then the other guys, they started coming across over, and they were about to box me in. And we were about just past the 500 meters to go. Um, and if I had waited, I would have been boxed in, and that was the end
Mm.
of it. So I figured, well, I might as well go now, and then whatever happens, happens. And so I went, and just barely managed to keep it. Uh, I actually thought I had a little bit more. I was ahead by a little bit more,
Mm.
and so when I stopped pedaling to like celebrate, I happened to look to my right, and there was this guy coming fast.
Oh no.
And I was like, "Oh no, he's gonna get me!" And I saw his wheel, I saw my wheel, and then I saw the finish line, and then realized that I won. And I mean, it was amazing. Like I said, the plan was to just last as long as I could, and then go to the beach. Um,
Jesus.
there was never about winning. I mean, obviously you have to try to win, right? Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like I wasn't there to win, but realistically, with my experience and going up against the biggest teams in the country, and realistically, the probability was very low that I could win it. Um, so yeah, it was amazing. And then